Hello everybody, welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events, and as we have been telling you here on the Arkansas Weather Blog, and I've been alluding to on the air, a very marginal temperature situation with a very potent storm system coming in Tuesday and into Wednesday. And I still think that the Ozarks, those higher elevations, not only the Ozarks but the Ouachitas as well in west central Arkansas, will see some big fat wet snowflakes. How does that sound? And it could accumulate. There are some models out there showing a lot. I'm disregarding them at this point. I'm going to show you everything right now. But for the rest of the state, for eastern, southern, and central Arkansas, most of this will be rain because, again, surface temperatures are going to be too warm. Can that change? Absolutely, it can change. Now, this is late Tuesday. Temperatures around 50 here. But this is the area of the state I want you to look at. By the way, EuroWX.com, giving courtesy, I'm using a lot of their maps here. But you see these temperatures in the mid-30s? This is a situation where the air aloft in the upper levels are going to be cold enough to support snow, and it can make it all the way down to the surface despite temperatures above freezing. And if it does start to make it down to the surface, these temperatures will cool. So it's a situation where it can snow above freezing. And you see that happening here across the Ozarks here, where the temperatures are in the mid-30s here, mid-40s here, and then near 60. You see how warm it is here across portions of eastern Arkansas. Again, that's late Tuesday. Now look at midnight, and you see the expansion of the mid-30s into north central Arkansas. So this is the area here, and then you notice things starting to cool here as well. 42 in Little Rock. Again, it would be just rain here at that time, and then you go into the morning hours on Wednesday. This is Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. This is 12Z, that's Zulu time. 33, 34 degrees. You know, what if this model, here it is Sunday, February 21st, what if this model is off by 3 degrees? You see what I'm talking about here? Plus, like I said, it can snow at 33, 34 degrees in this type of situation. And then look at this, in the higher elevations of west central Arkansas as well. So these are the two areas that I'm really starting to look at, especially in northern Arkansas, for some snowfall. Now, the European from EuroWX.com amounts, again, confined to those higher elevations of northern Arkansas. You can see just north of Russellville, looks like just north of the river valley. You can see, and according to this, there's 3, 4, 5 inches of snow in a very small area of northern Arkansas. Notice there is a sharp cutoff right in here near Sharp County. Now, that's the European model. Again, what I'm showing you here, folks, is, again, it's just computer models. And it's just like the polls that you see, the political polls that you see with the elections, the primaries going on right now. A few days ago, you saw, in South Carolina, you saw Trump up by like 20-something points, right? And then he won by 10 points. Well, that's trying to project what's going to happen on election day, and it was wrong. It was right in the fact that he won, but wrong on the amount of wrong in the fact of how much he won by. So that's what I'm trying to tell you here, is the fact that, hey, it's showing snow, but the amounts may be off, and the exact location may be off, because these are just trying to project what the atmosphere is going to look like days down the road, and this is going to change. Now, this is the GFS, and I'm going to weatherbell.com. Surface low towards the south. This is midday on Tuesday. Rain coming in on Tuesday. This surface low continues to track a little bit further towards the south with each run, if I remember correctly, the previous runs. North central Louisiana, you're getting east-northeasterly winds across the state. It's a cold rain, and it's showing all rain. That I'm kind of about. But look what happens. Again, that's late Wednesday. Look what happens. This is between Tuesday at 6 p.m. and midnight on Wednesday. Look what starts to happen. You see the low shooting off in the Mississippi? It starts to pull down that colder air. The upper level dynamics start to cool the column. That little blue, that's 35-degree isotherm starting to starting to show up right there. And you see the snow in Missouri. I've got a feeling at this time there's going to be a little bit more across the Ozarks at this point in time. And then you go down here between midnight and 6 a.m. on Wednesday, and then you really start to see the effects. And it's showing 32 degrees in this. Like I said, it's a very small area in northern Arkansas, a very sharp cutoff. But what I would take from this, the Ozarks, the river valley sees little to nothing. and then again the higher elevations of west central Arkansas. That's the way it's showing with the models. And then Wednesday morning it lifts out. This is between 6 a.m. and noon on Wednesday. Snowfall amounts, this is the NAM, which I'm disregarding at this time. But what the thing is with the NAM, it's showing some incredible amounts. But with the NAM, it's showing where I think it's going to snow. In this area of north central Arkansas, and then again in western Arkansas. It's got it here in central and eastern Arkansas. I'm not willing to buy that yet. I am not buying that yet. Remember, these are just projections, not forecasts. This is the European. Again, notice the amounts are different, but the placement looks very similar, doesn't it? And then you go to the GFS. Amounts different, but placement the same. Now, I want to show you the differences between all the computer models. This is for Little Rock. You see the European gives Little Rock a 1/2 inch. The GFS gives us nothing. The NAM, and I'm disregarding the NAM at this point. I think it's just whacked out, gone, out to lunch. 2.5 inches. The RPM, just this model is usually whacked out until you get within 24 hours of an event, just so that you know. So I look at these two at this point and little to none, I would say, in the metro. Then you go to Harrison, okay? So here's Harrison. Again, whacked out. That's crazy. That's what the NAM is showing. Again, remember, this is not a forecast. This is just a computer model. I mean, you got, I'll forecast between nothing and 12.5 inches. So the RPM, again, I don't trust that until you get within 24 hours of an event. This, I'm disregarding at this time. This may be a little bit more reasonable. That's Harrison. So that's Harrison. Let's go to Jasper. And I just picked out some locations. Just a, what's 16 inches between friends? You know what I mean? I mean, there's just a small difference here. This is what I'm talking about. When you look at these models, these are just models, and it's just like political polls. Oh, they all show snow, but they all vary greatly in the amounts. And there are some people out there, they say, oh, 16 and that's it. That's the model. That's what's going to happen. And that's called wish casting. When you got to look at this from a meteorological standpoint and say, okay, that, only one person knows for sure. But maybe these seem a little bit, maybe a blend between these two seem a little bit more reasonable. So it's still early, things change. And I just want to let you know that I really think there's the possibility that by the time we get to late Monday or early Tuesday, that winter storm watches get issued for northern Arkansas, the Ozarks, and maybe even west central Arkansas. I think this is a situation where the river valley may get little, if anything, and then it's those higher elevations. Could there be more cold air involved? If there's more cold air involved, folks, then more locations get snow. But that's the way I see things right now. I'll keep you updated. Have a great day, and thank you so much for coming to the Arkansas Weather Blog.